Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. How the devil are we?
Very good, thanks, Self.
Nice. Still enjoying the decent weather down here?
Yeah, it's been a bit iffy up here, mate, to be honest with you. It's not undecided what it's doing. So fingers crossed this time next weekend we'll have had a good Reefers barbecue, but fingers crossed. The weather looks promising, but it keeps changing every day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is.
Unreliable.
I ain't got room for 20 reefers in my front room if it rains. So, yeah, I'll keep an eye on it daily at the minute.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway.
Is that what you got coming? 20?
Yeah.
Oh, it's quite a few, isn't it?
It is. It is. It is. And, yeah, I don't know whether to charge tickets or not. But anyway, after I went to Signature on Friday.
Bring a frag day. That's your entry fee.
Bring a frag plug more like. No, some of my mates, and a few of them have got. By the sounds of it, a few people have got a few things in store for me. I don't know why, because I'm entertaining them at my expense. But yeah, sounds like there's going to be a few games played. Anyway, but now looking good. Good weekend so far. Then, what we get up to yesterday?
Yeah,
anything reef related? Anything reefing?
Work all weekend. So,
oh dear,
reef related for me. Yeah, other than scraping the glass.
I went to
meticulously
IAC.
like you do. Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? Drippy missed you. He said you'd been. Yeah.
Yeah, I went in the afternoon. He'd already been there. They were talking about him. I didn't realise it was him, but they said someone's bought one of the Biota Potter's Angels, and I was like, oh wow, because they got a tiny
very nice.
one. It's like the size of your thumbnail. It's absolutely minute. I spotted it in one of the tanks. I was like, going, what is that? And they're like, yeah, I mean, lovely little fish, but hefty price tag.
Yeah. Very hefty price tag. Very. But I think that's when you just, I couldn't spend that on a fish anyway. I know you have and could, but yeah. I just think about all the sticks I could have bought. I don't know about you, Josh.
Yeah, I'm the same as that.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, you went to AAC. Did you get anything? Did you buy anything?
No, I went up to get some live food. That was it, really. Just have a chat.
Right, okay.
I met a couple of people there that I haven't seen for a while. So yeah, it's just to get out, really. Just monging around the house. I thought I'd get out. Yeah.
I cleaned the garage yesterday, the fish house. That wasn't fun. I'm finding some horrible algae in the frag tank that I set up about a month ago. Joys. Set up an hydra. First time I've ever set up an hydra light. Lee gave me one.
52.
Me to you. I couldn't tell you. 2 pucks.
Right.
Little silver grey thing. I don't know.
Is it have they got like the small pucks in the middle, or is it like the bigger ones? Like are they recessed in, or are they like level with the bottom of the light?
Recessed in, but ever so slightly. That's the
32s. Then that would be.
Oh, is it? Right, look at you, the wizard.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, set that up. That's a nice light. That decent light. Just for the sun.
Is that running on an app or?
Yeah, it runs on an app. Yeah, set that up yesterday. Well, it didn't go according to plan. I had to speak to Lee because I had to reset it, and then you have to wait for this and that, and yeah. Anyway,
it's still above your tank. They're not sitting in it.
No, but I haven't actually. But it's funny you should come on to that. You've just reminded me of something. So the other week when I dropped the two Orfec 60s or whatever they are, light bars in the sun, they ended up in the sun. Well, I went to do the tip run yesterday, so just got loads of crap obviously I need to get rid of before everybody comes up. And I thought, I can't throw these Orfec light bars away without turning them back on again. And one of them works. One of them came straight back on.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know whether they're meant to be IP65 or 66, whatever it is rating, but yeah, one of them clearly is a bit more resilient than the other one. So one's gone in the bin and the other one is going back on the tank at some point. So happy days. But yeah, but no, I've just put that hydra on just for the sun, just because I've got a few bits of LPS in there just to keep them alive while I'm burning through these horrible, whatever you want to call them, dinos, diatoms, a big mixture of everything, I think, at the minute. But anyway. The ugly stage, as we call it, which I went through on this for God knows how long. But anyway, other than that, cleaning up, tidying up, and getting ready for 20 reefers to come and eat me out of house and home. Other than that, yeah, all good. Yeah, all good. So we're going to talk about Reefspiration this morning. So two sort of sides to the coin on this one. So we're going to talk obviously about the individuals that have sort of given us, three of us, some inspiration. And please comment, everybody that's tuned in this morning, in the comments section in terms of anybody that you can think of over the years that you've sort of turned to and listened to and watched YouTube, etc. And the second half of the stream, we're going to talk about, we're going to look at some of the tanks in particular. So we're going to try and mix it up a little bit. We originally picked 16 tanks between the three of us, a mixture of Instagram, YouTube, etc., that we wanted to sort of use as a reference. We think it'd be a good idea to let everybody that's watching sort of give us a suggestion as well. So we've got room for 4 more tanks. We're going to do a bit of a knockout, so a bit of a poll sort of towards the end of the stream, and hopefully try and come out with the majority vote, if that sounds like a plan to everybody. Sounds a lot easier than I'm sure it will be, because it's again. So yeah, let's look at who's tuned in anyway this morning, this Sunday morning. So we've got the one and only Mr. Wright, Johnny boy.
I'm John.
Here, John. Lee's in the house.
Lee.
All right.
Who else we got? Stuart. Thanks for making the effort, mate. Morning.
Morning.
Rennie's Reef. Some regulars coming on this channel. Thank you very much. Morning, Rennie. Gills, Liam. So I'm up to Wharf after this. Oh, God, he's got pocket money burning and all in his pocket at the minute. He really has. Signature frags, down to Wharf. God, can't say no. Hope you get something good, mate. Don't feed it to the shark. UK 120, morning. Let's have a look. Oh, morning. Is he still in Turkey? I don't know. Has he had his teeth done? Is that his? I don't know. Don't know whether he's back or not. He's meant to be coming on next Saturday. We'll see. Right. Got a party. We've got a little party bag for you, Jay, with a little bit of cake and a toy in it for you. Don't you worry.
He's coming up to the barbecue, is he?
He says he is, yeah.
Right.
Says he is. Darren, morning, mate. Just headed out the door to 80 and a bit of catch up later.
Okay, see you later.
And he's going to LFS's this morning. Pretty cool. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Morning. Morning, Ron. Reef Rondo. Ron. Morning. Is his website up and running yet, Rob? I want to have a look at it. See if the Scots have got any sticks that we don't have down here.
I think it could be. Yeah, you'd have to check. I think he did say
I'll have a look in a bit
on it. Yeah.
Good stuff. The ones that you got off him doing all right?
Yeah, doing really well.
Good.
Yeah, he's got some nice stuff.
Good. Right then, so 23 people watching so far. I'm sure there'll be a few lazy heads getting up to join us at some point while we're on the stream. So let's start with, who's your Reefspirations? So anybody want to volunteer? Go first? No?
Go on, Rob.
Yeah, go on, Rob. Yeah, let's pick on Rob.
Well, I'll tell the story. So the very first sort of...
Do we need to sit down for this one?
Well, you are, fortunately. So, yeah. How long we got?
carpet time.
I went to Dave Saxby's house and saw his tank before I'd even set mine up. So that was my first kind of, other than like when I did it with my dad years ago, and I was out of the hobby for ages, my first introduction back into it was to see that tank. And obviously, to say the least, it's on my list of inspirational tanks because it is an amazing tank. And just the way it's run, all the setup on it was amazing. So, yeah, that was quite inspiring. I mean, it made my first tank, feel really small after I'd seen that. But just in terms of, that tank is just, because it's so old and grown out. I mean, I think it's on its third iteration, but even the amount, it's got like 400 fish in that tank, huge colonies.
What's the water volume of it, Rob?
Is it something like 15,000 litres or something?
What was yours?
What now?
Yeah.
3,000.
You're getting there. You're on your way.
Yeah. So you always look upwards, don't you? You never look behind you. So yeah, something to aim for. But yeah, so that was quite inspirational, really. And he's got some really nice stuff in that tank as well. So that would be probably my
16,820 litres.
Oh, there you go.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a lot of water.
That's the combined total, isn't it? I can't remember what the display was. I think the display is like obviously substantially less, but
Yeah,
he's got like an entire filter room below it, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's a long walk to the filter room from the tank as well. Yeah, because it's, I don't know, I can't remember how far it is away, but
is it down below it, or is it like on the same level?
No, I think it's down below it.
Tell a lie. The whole system value, the whole system volume is around 12,000 litres. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it?
Are you even closer then, Rob?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not so impressive now. Yeah. So and I guess the other thing is because you don't really get to see those tanks in person very often, do you? You know, in someone's house. So yeah, it was impressive.
Well, we've got a picture of it. I mean, you keep. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
If I can get you a picture on 1 minute.
How long ago was that you saw that, Rob? Did you say?
I think it was 2016. I think it was about there. 15, 16. Yeah.
Is it still that set? You said it's on its third iteration. Is it the same? Is it still in that same phase now, or has he restarted it again or reset it since? I think it's the same still, isn't it?
I think it's the same. Yeah. When I've seen it like recently, it looks the same. But I know he's changed like the way he runs it because he's running his elements on it now, isn't he?
Is he?
He's doing that? Yeah. So he's taking his calcium reactors and that off, and he's using that.
Yeah, it's incredible, that, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's
you can't appreciate the depth from that photo either. It looks a bit like a wall, but obviously you can see behind you, you've got where it disappears off, and then there's that door, and I'm sure it reaches past the door, doesn't it, into the next room?
Yeah, and he's got this little like hidden sort of cupboard that pulls out. I mean, he's got so many like the E-Flow Deltec pumps on there, and it's just it is colossal. I mean, it's a lovely thing to just sit and watch while you're sitting in your lounge. But a couple of pounds worth in there.
Just a few.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's probably been my inspiration because I've seen it in person, and then most tanks are more impressive when you actually get to be there and look at them. Because Instagram, or YouTube even, they're just difficult, aren't they, to get a sort of scale of a tank and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Yeah. So just there as you're going past, you've got like a hidden cupboard that pulls out.
Yeah.
You get a little glimpse of the side.
Past, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's insane, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't even get that in public aquariums.
No, you don't. No, you don't. It's quite
you'll
rare
get
you'll get the big fish tanks.
Yeah, you'll get the big fish systems in public aquariums, but you'll never ever see anything like that.
No, you don't get
absolutely
that
incredible, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
Like when we all say about doing a slice of the ocean in a house, like that literally is. I'd go as far as to say I think that's a better tank than Polo Reef.
Oh,
that's controversial.
Really? That's controversial this morning.
I mean, for me, the Polo Reef does it because of the fish he's got, to be honest. I mean, that is stunning. I've seen that. But yeah, I mean, Polo Reef's on my list.
Given the time, I think Polo Reef will more than likely will eclipse that. But I just think with how well grown in and how you can't see any rock, it's just entire coral coverage. It's incredible, and that's I think that's everyone in terms of, especially like myself and SPS keepers. That's the ultimate goal. And look at that. I do like the big soft coral though.
I can give you a little bit of info. Hang on a minute. I'm just sharing screens. So it says here, it was rebuilt in 2013 and rescaped in 2015. I've got no.
Okay.
Fairly new when you saw it then, Rob.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
Because you look like that, really. But yeah. I mean, in fact, he's got that red-tailed tamarin wrasse in there, which you can't even get anymore. Got some stunning fish in there as well.
Is that Hawaii?
Yeah,
is that from Hawaii? Is it?
Yeah.
There's for anyone who's interested, there's a petition going on now. If you go on Greg Carroll, Greg Carroll's sharing it. So if anyone wants to sign that and try and get it reopened again, a little opportunity.
Yeah, nice fish.
That would be my reef inspiration, I think, for that
stuff. If anybody mine, I'm going to be bored. I liked one of my first ones was Abe, the guy that's disappeared. Euphoria guy. Yeah. See if I can get a picture of some of his tanks up.
Yeah, he's not posted for ages, has he?
He's not posted for absolutely donkeys. Yeah, a couple of years at least. If I can find some of his pictures of his tanks, people. I just liked his. I thought his videos were really good, really informative, and someone like me, really simple to understand because the way that he sort of broke it down, it was quite visual in terms of his explanations. You know, diagrams and drawing stuff. I always used. I was just this. Sorry, I used to think that the way he explained stuff was great. And I think for me, anybody that gives sort of criticism or advice in this hobby, you need to back it up with a nice tank. Otherwise, I'm always a little bit skeptical. I'm a bit skeptical otherwise. But I mean, some of the corals that he has in his tank was just sort of, unreal.
Which one of his tanks did you like the most?
I liked his shallow one.
Yeah. That's only quite recent, isn't it, as well, really? It's only the last sort of 5 years or so, if that.
Yeah, I can't seem to find it while I'm talking to you. But no, I like Colin Fourier, and I don't know. I think over the years I've just pinched. There's a lot of German tanks that I can't really find on Instagram that I've found on YouTube that I've liked. This is the one I'm on about. This one. I'll picture of this tank. Let's see if that one.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
He has got a real amalgamation of lighting on that one as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you can see it.
Yeah. I mean, I like the shallow look. I do. I think it's quite. Yeah, I like. Yeah.
The thing is,
and LEDs.
I don't think that's even that shallow, is it? Really? I think that's probably similar. Well, I'd say that your tank's obviously a lot deeper than mine, but my tank looks it is as deep as it is wide. But I think. Yeah, his tank depth is probably the same as mine, if not probably a bit deeper, I'd imagine. Yeah. He's got his. Oh no, tell a lie. That was a while ago. I don't think. No, he's got 5% on his new video progress, and I don't think that's changed for a long time.
Yeah, disappeared unfortunately. I know. I'm just looking now. 7 months. I think his website's still going. Is it?
I think so. Yeah, he obviously grows the corals and sells them, doesn't he? So I'm assuming his website is still going. But it was a real shame to see. Well, I did enjoy his videos, so yeah, you are right. It's a shame to see that he disappeared.
It's a shame to. Yeah, this is a better one. Look at this one. Where are we? I just liked his placement and his colours of some of the sticks that he's got, and fish again minimal for nutrient levels. Just some of the growth patterns of some of the sticks I thought were brilliant, and a lot of the table stuff was a lot of the tables that I've created to have it in mind behind me. So yeah, definitely a guy that I used to get inspiration from.
His mounting system that he did with with
the plugs, very similar to what you did, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's where I got the idea from. He did it so that he couldn't have anything encrusted onto the scape, which is exactly why I did it the way I did. Obviously, I've done mine slightly differently to him. Because I've just DIY'd the scape so much. I thought if I take a drill to it, I'll probably end up breaking the whole thing apart. Hopefully in the future with a bigger system, I can drill it and just use the rod system like he has. But yeah, that was his system is why I did what I did.
Oh, Rob, one of my inspirations is Rob. Not only is it, I don't know if he's talking about you, Rob, or a different Rob. Not only his tanks, but his way of living life. What a legend! Oh God,
not working.
Wow, don't know how wide your door frames are. You might have to grease them to get your head out after this.
Yeah, better make the camera a bit wider.
Got a few more people who've managed to get the kettle on and join us this morning, so just quickly jump back in again. Morning, Tony. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Thanks for joining us, mate. And the one and only is here. Good morning, Reef Squares. Great topic. Tomorrow was an inspiration. Then I met him. Don't know what he means by that. Anyway, so we'll look what else we got. Yeah, I think that's it. Right. Anybody in the comments want to give us any suggestions of any tanks that they want to talk about? It's like I say, I'm going to run a little bit of a poll in a second and get the ball rolling on that, because we're going to start looking at some tanks. But I mean, who are the longest serving sort of reefing greats, would you say? Because I know you've got Mike Paletta, you've got Sanjay Yoshi,
Keith,
Keith, Reef Bump, yeah, Keith, yeah. What is it? What is it? What would you say that the three? What would you say the two of you, sorry, have taken from these reefing grades in terms of the best bit of advice? Anything that's been made made a massive difference, or not?
Stability and patience. As much as if you look at all these the reefing grades as we're like sort of referring to them as, if you look at a lot of them, they'll do things quite differently. Obviously they use fairly similar methods sometimes, but one might be on a 2-part, someone else might be on a calcium reactor, someone else might be on a calc stirrer. They'll all have different methods, but they're all chasing the same thing, and that's absolute stability. And I think we all get a little bit hung up sometimes on what's the best method, but the best method is whichever suits you best to keep your tank as stable as possible. And I think if you look at all of their tanks, stability is the one thing that they'll always push. Even if the numbers are slightly different, as long as the numbers stay the same, and being patient with it as well. Don't change too many things at once. And I think as we progress in the hobby, obviously for yourselves, you've been in a lot longer than I have. I'd imagine patience. Well, I don't know about you, Tom, but patience is a little bit easier for some to come by. But it's one of those. It's one of those things that I think, especially for me, I'm always very keen to try and get the best results really quickly. But then when you look at some of these other, the long-term reefers, they're more than happy just to sit back and let the tank just develop over time. And you tend to get faster results by being more patient, which seems counterproductive, but it does seem to work. So I think they're the main things for me, is patience and stability. They don't necessarily teach you the best way for you, but patience and stability are the two things that 100% are definitely takeaways from them.
I think the one thing that for me that a lot of people who've been in the hobby a long time, not just some of these names we're mentioning now, have all got in common is they all seem to start with the same sort of starting point, as it were, and that's start with a good quality salt, as daft as that sounds. I think quite often in conversations and interviews I've watched and read, people will say, their comment will be start with a good foundation, start with a good quality salt. And when I think back to my sort of time over the hobby, I've changed salt a lot of times. And why have I done it? Probably peer pressure or social media or price, lots of different things. And going back to what you're saying about patience, I would also say consistency. And if you find something that works, don't just sort of crumble to the next fad or fashion. And I've been guilty of that. I probably will as I continue with the hobby of trying something. But it all goes back to the simplicity that we talked about a little bit on Friday night, and trying to keep it simple, and changes. Don't change too many things too often. So if anything does go wrong, you're less likely to be able to backtrack and figure out what it was you did wrong, because you've changed too much. We're going on topic a little bit, but definitely the common denominator for me was getting a good quality salt. So
foundations,
good foundation. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I like Sanjay and Mike and Ross and those people who've been in the hobby for ages. What I like is when because they have problems in their tank, the same as everyone else does. But what they don't do is any knee-jerk reactions.
That's kind of what I mean. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah,
but getting flatworms, getting aptasia, vermitids, all of it. It's just you're going to get them as part of the hobby. But when you get there, don't freak out. Just deal with it with a biological means if possible, but there is always a solution. Some people would go, oh, you got to take your old tank down because you got aptasia in there, or bubble algae or whatever. But if you watch those guys, I mean, Sanjay had an outbreak, didn't he, of flatworms, and he just basically shrugged his shoulders and went, yeah, I'll deal with it. And he did. It might have taken him 6 months, but I think a lot of people, when they don't have that experience behind them, they just panic and look for sort of knee-jerk reactions, which are going to give them a quick fix. And I just think sometimes your tank's going to look not great for months before it comes back on track. But I think that is still the best route, But I think that's the pressure of social media as well, though, is your tank's got to look stunning 100% of the time. And it's rare to see pictures posted of tanks which are going to look a bit, rubbish. It's just, it's just the pressure of social media, really. But it's not really reality, is it? Because no one's tank looks amazing 100% of the time. It's just impossible. Yeah. So that's what I like about them. They're just realistic about, the way reef tanks undulate over the course of however long
Yeah.
you have the tank up for, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Let's just jump into some of these comments. John's saying, what's John saying? John's saying Moggs' tank was good. Yeah, it was good. It's Reefer, really good, nice tank, lots of colour. I think we're going to touch on one of these, Liam, in a minute. But Inspiration tank was the big German Peninsula tank. Yeah, that's one of the ones that we've listed between the three of us, I think.
Yeah.
Reefing Inspiration is Keith, late Jake Adams, of course, is RIP Jake, Meckley, and Christian at Signature. Yeah, I think we've got to be a bit UK proud with the Brits, haven't we? And give a bit of a shout out to Christian for what he does with the stick. So yeah, fair play there, definitely. We think we'd all
does he have a display tank or not? Has he got a display tank in there?
He's got two actually. He's got one at the back near the sort of kitchenette area he's got, which is tidied up, and he's planning on making that look more like he's got like a bit of a breakout area, you know, for if you bring your missus or you've got kids and entertain them or whatever for a bit. Toys, colouring books, etc. Kind of place that Drippy spends most of his time. When we
That's for you, that.
And now he's got a big, I think he's about an 8-foot display. He's been battling a few issues with algae for a while, but his plan with that is, from what he said to me the other day, is to make it look like a mixed reef, a display tank. Right. So to sort of and bigger colonies as well. So colonies and nice contrasting colonies in colour.
Like a working display, will it?
Yeah.
Like,
so you can see
Jason Fox has got, you know, just where he can still chop some of it out if he wants to.
I'm assuming so, but yeah, it's one for people to look at and say, well, that's what we want it to look like, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tony's saying he like watching Aaron's Aquarium, or Aaron's Aquarium, should I say? Sorry, only watched him a couple.
I did like his channel. Yeah. It's a good channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was actually the reason that I went and got the Fluval Evo to start with.
All right.
I'll cover some of the inspirations that sort of set me off on the footing with reefing before, but he'd set up the Fluval Evo, and I watched him do that. They had a little mini video series on it, and I just thought it looks like a nice little tank. It'd be a good one to get started with. So yeah, and my LFS did me a nice deal on it. So he was sort of the main reason behind why I went with that tank.
Yeah.
It's a shame that, you know, and it's quite sad circumstances I had to leave the hobby in, but yeah, he was always a really good watch.
Yeah, he's very popular.
He's saying the same here. Mrs. freaked me out when she randomly bought me my first 4-foot tank straight on YouTube. Aaron's Aquarium was the first person I stumbled across, and he helped me out to make sure it wasn't impossible. Yeah. I think there's definitely a need for people coming into the hobby, because I think, although not trying to contradict what we're talking about this morning, but you've got to get Reefspiration from somebody that I think, you know, can talk to you in your own language and can help you baby steps almost achieve what you need to achieve, or what you want to achieve with your tank fairly early on, because there's no way that watching some of the tanks, you know, David Saxby's tank, nobody's going to go out and say, you know, well, Rob might anyway, if he goes down to the, you know, to the glass shop the next week, but I don't think there's many people that are going to try and emulate some of these tanks, is what I'm saying. I think if you do, you might fall on you. I think you might fall on your face quite early and you know, and throw the towel in, so to speak. So I think it's important having people with the smaller size tanks, definitely. Jay's saying the same. Aaron's Aquarium. John, my inspiration, Friday night stream, and this one. Oh, thanks, mate. The way you interact with your viewers, the help you give, including Lee. Yeah, that's nice. Thanks for the support. Yes, and if you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up. We appreciate that. Lee's saying Devon, Reef Dudes, one of the first to help me when I turn to the hobby. Reef of Hex, Travis, also great. Tidal Gardens, the main Sam Parker, Parker's Reef. Yeah,
I quite like Sam's channel.
Nice Sam. Yeah, Sam's got a good channel.
He's very honest as well. This is what I quite like about Sam.
Yeah.
If he's got things going wrong, he'll be the first person to hold his hands up and tell you what's going wrong, why it's gone wrong, and then also what he's going to potentially do to fix it. So I do like Sam's channel. It's growing on me a lot. He features some really nice reefs. One of the reefs actually that I put down, I don't know if you still got it in the list, Tom. Reef Jules. I don't know if he's still on the list. He was he did a feature on his channel, and that was a really good watch.
Yeah, he's got some nice tanks on there.
Which one is it?
Reef Jules.
Aha, yes. Hang on 1 second. We're going to talk about, well, we're going to go through, we are going to start doing some polls shortly because I'm conscious that you're all going to start throwing.
I think the other thing that I do for like inspiration is I sort of separate people into their little boxes, I guess. Like if I want to do anything with chemistry, I'll go Randy Holmes Farley is like got to be one of the first ports of call. Craig Bingman's another person. So anything chemistry related, I always go to them. If anything like fish disease related, I go for Bobby Miller.
Yeah.
So there's certain people in certain areas which I will always go to if I'm got any sort
of an expertise.
Rather than just generalists.
Yeah.
So George, this is Reef Tools, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I'd never seen it before. And then Sam did a feature on his YouTube channel.
So all I do is I look at that and just go, "Where's the fish?"
There's a surprising amount of fish, actually, isn't it? It's amazing that there's none viewable in the picture. I think it's got about 10 or 15 fish in there. And it's the dimensions of the tank is the same as mine. Yeah, you look at that and you look at that and see the size of the corals. You think it looks like it might be a lot bigger, but it's not. It's a 60 cube, which is, I think that was the main reason that I dived on with that. I thought that is absolutely incredible. It's the reason I'm going to add a little bit more to my scape because he's obviously got that raised section at the back where he's got a lot of table and acros on. So I thought I've got to do that. Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I thought I need to do that with mine because I love the look of it. And it's going to give me the opportunity to get a couple of the acros, hopefully, tabling out, if they do in the next however many years. But yeah, that was one of mine. And I can't remember entirely how his methodology went. But I just thought it was such a cool little, it was probably one of the nicest nano tanks. We're calling it a nano. Smaller reefs that I've ever seen. So it was a really inspiration. Even though it's only a recent one, it was set up before mine, but I saw it only about 6 to 8 months ago. And so just immediately that was like, well, I need to change mine and make mine better now. So yeah, a recent inspiration, but inspiration nonetheless.
There's a lot of thought gone into that as well, hasn't there, in terms of coral placement. Definitely a lot of thought gone into that. And I think that for me, and I'm sat this morning laughing to myself because I said exactly this. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to placement, all this, and I've just literally, it's like, looks like I've just literally just thrown a load of milliput on me rockscape and just thrown a load of acro frags at it. Anyway, let's look at some of these comments. Right then. Drippy saying, when I found AAC, Paul Hughes been magic for me. Face-to-face knowledge, experience still is. Live stream bandits here, it's also been helpful for us.
Yeah, yes. I mean, LFS owners, Paul is great. I like Tony at Coral Passion as well. A couple of people I listen to a lot. You just have a lot of knowledge if you run a store, don't you, for years? Yeah,
definitely. Some of the names being shouted out here. Yeah, definitely agree. I mean, Than's Coral Farm. I mean, I know obviously Paul's there at the minute. Hughes has gone over there, but have you watched I think it's about an hour, nearly 2 hours long, the YouTube video on when he designed it all. The thought that went into that is just insane. It's insane.
Absolutely insane. Yeah.
Insane. I could actually watch that rather than watching a film on repeat.
Yeah. It was addictive to see the updates as well.
And the plumber that he's got in, to the pipe work, how symmetrical and anal and everything just looks
perfection.
Wow. Perfection. Yeah. Big time.
You see, the thing that a lot of people have commented on is how quiet it is. You walk in there and apparently you just can't hear anything equipment-wise. Yet we've all got tiny little reefs in the house and we could all hear something wearing away. And it's not as if the filtration or anything's hidden away and the lights are hidden away. They're all there. But he's just done it so well and used the best equipment. And it is incredible.
I reckon he'd just run screaming if he came into my fish room and a noise. He'd just be like, "No, I'm out."
Well, that's why you've got them on, innit?
Yeah, constantly. I can still hear it from here.
He just puts his eye on when he leaves this room, anyway.
That's it. Yeah, hard hat.
Critical saying there was so many inspiration people meeting Jake Adams. Wow. Okay, gave me a kick up the arse in Albany. Cool. Where did you meet him, Critical? Curious to know. Rama morning. Thanks for joining us. Tom should buy a batfish. Anyone on the live stream had any experience? I've never bought a batfish before. They're the really long sort of ones, aren't they?
Well, they get really quite ugly as they get large, though, don't they? Batfish.
Yeah, they don't keep that.
The juveniles.
They don't keep that nice coloration, do they? Yeah.
No, and they're like the size of a dinner plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I buy a batfish? Oh, sorry. Off the subject, I'll get what you're saying now. Should I buy a batfish? I've never had one. Not really my cup of tea, personally. I think you'd need a really big tank because of how they grow. But again, we can buy one, and Rob, you can look after it for a bit. Cute it for him, can't you? In yours, see how he gets on.
There he gets on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they're not a very attractive fish when they get larger. I don't think, are they? So that would put me off wanting one.
Yeah. So I think our answer is no. So apologies if you wanted. If you want everybody to say yes, there is plenty of more fish in the sea, so to speak. I think that I would prefer to own other than a batfish. What's Liam saying? I'd quite like to give a big shout out to Lee as an inspiration. Not only has he got an amazing looking tank and equipment set up, but he does it all with one arm. Absolute inspiration. Yeah, I think we all need to sort of dip his hat to Lee and big shout out, mate. And he's always there to help people as well, which
I was going to say,
he always goes out of his way.
Which
always up, yeah. And what I will say is he will listen to people in terms of if they feel like they honestly know more, but they've got an opinion. He's got his experience, but he's not up his own backside, which is refreshing in this hobby. So yeah, big shout out, mate. Keep it going, buddy. Morning, Hayley. Thanks for joining us. Right then. So if you are watching, could you please give us a shout out in terms of some of the tanks you want us to throw into the polls shortly? Because we are going to start getting on to our first one in a second. What else we got here? EIY Kumar. Morning. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday stream. We had a good weekend. Critical saying he met Jake Adams at Reef Stock Denver. Even grabbed him a beer. Wow.
Cool.
That was an experience at Reef. I'd love to go to these places. Well, I wouldn't because you can't fetch anything back, but yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating, isn't
it? Oh, dear. Yeah, they say, Lee's a good one to help me with lots of advice. Right then. Anybody else we want to talk about before I start getting a poll together?
Yeah, I never actually mentioned the sort of inspiration that got me going. So the first reef tank that I watched and followed along with, which made me think, I'm definitely going to be getting a reef tank one day, was the BRS 160. The 52 weeks a week reefing series.
Yes.
Yeah. I followed that week in, week out. I didn't have a reef then. It was still a couple of years until I did. But I followed that the entire year. Never missed an update on it. And that was the thing for me that really sort of set me going in the hobby. And I think Ryan gets a lot of criticism across the hobby, obviously, because he's running a company as well as trying to give information. But I think the amount of research and information they put out there is arguably second to none. I don't think anyone does as much in terms of digging into it, especially when it was him and Randy doing all the BRS investigates. They were quite open and honest with a lot of data, a lot of information, and I think they deserve a lot more credit than they get. They get a lot of criticism, but they don't really get as much credit as I think they really deserve. So that was the first tank that I really followed along with in terms of inspiration and really driving me into the hobby. I'd go as far as to say that. And then in terms of general inspiration, when I look for things for what I want to do with the system, I quite looking back at the old Reef Tanks of the Month on what's it called? The forum.
Reefspiration.
No, it was the forum from years ago. That's I can't remember what it was called now. But they did like a tank of the month. No, it's not Reef. That's the UK one, isn't it? No, it was the American one.
Not Reef.
Not Reef.
So,
there was one before, wasn't there? I can't think what it was called.
Yeah, it was on there though. And I love going back through like the early 2000s tanks when you've just got huge stick colonies and people are doing things really simply. That that I take more inspiration, I'd say, from that in terms of what I want to do with my tank and how I want my tanks to look than potentially I do with a lot of the modern tanks. Obviously, a lot of the ones I've given you, Tom, that I find inspirational now are Instagram tanks that people can find and are regularly updated, so they're good to follow along with. But in terms of if I'm going to look at something and go, right, I'm going to set a new system up, I'll start looking back at the older tanks and think, right, what do I really want to do with this? And do I want to try and recreate something that has been done in the past, or something that's been done very well in the past anyway? I'll see if I can find the website.
I don't think people go on forums as much as they used to these days, do they?
No.
I think people go on forums literally to buy and sell coral or livestock or equipment. I don't think it's
Social
as much of
the new thing now,
general chat, because I mean, I look on some of the threads for the regional threads for this sort of area, and nothing's been commented on or discussed for, I think it's like over 2 years. So
a lot of dead threads on there.
Yeah. Right. We're going to talk about the first 4 picks. What we are getting on for 10:45. Let's talk about the first 4 picks. So, in no particular order, we're going to talk about these tanks in terms of inspiration, and we're going to do a poll. So the idea is, and nobody's really commented here, so we might end up with the original 16. But if you want to add a tank to the poll, please mention it in the comments, and I'll do our best to add it to this presentation, and hopefully we can see who we all agree is the overall most inspirational tank. Right, share screen. Right, so the first one is this one, Ollie's tank. And it's one that you shouted out, Josh, isn't it?
Yeah. So
look.
I think the best version of his tank was sort of early 2003 or 2023. Sorry, he's not done as many updates of late, but everyone knows I'm a big proponent of T5s, and I just think the way he set the tank out, in that you've got the little islands, he's got quite big colonies in there, but all the islands, it looks very bright, very open, very clean. We all know I like the clean look. It's one of them tanks when you look at, you're like, I could sit and stare at that all day. It's a very nice tank.
Yeah, it's very clean. Definitely the stand as well.
There's a lot of simple corals in there as well. I say simple corals, a lot of easier SPS. Like your barley slimers, you can see some digis in there. So it's one of those things that it's not out of the realms of possibility for people that are fairly new into the hobby. Yes, there's a couple of tabling acros in there that are starting to do their thing, but the tank was quite established. So I think for beginners, it does show that you can have a really nice tank with, some fairly simple corals in.
See, that's an example for me as to why you should have sand in your tank, because the colour contrast of the white against all the other corals just pops. If that was bare bottom with algae growing on it, it just really wouldn't have as much of an impact. Personally, I feel anyway. I think you know this already, but I put white vinyl along the outside or along the bottom of mine, so that when I have the bare spots, it's still white. So from a distance, it still looks good. Yes, you get a bit of algae on it, but you just scrape it off with a long-handled scraper. Yeah, I did that to mine just in case I changed my mind on the sand, because I couldn't get the big gravel. But
Reefkeeping.com. That was the website.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. If you go on the old tanks of the month from the early to late 2000s, some of the tanks on there are just absolutely. I've just found one here. It's I don't know where the guy's from, Thailand. A Thai tank, and it's just amazing. The coral growth and phenomenal. Really are.
So the first one that was picked, Rob, was Ollie's tank. This was one of Josh's entries, one of Josh's many entries, I should say. What did you think? What do you think? Honestly,
not a Rob stream.
Not my cup of tea. But I mean, it's a nice tank, nice corals in it. But I don't know. I just struggle with tanks like that. Looks like it's been painted.
Yeah, but if it's going in your living room and you want it to you want it to stand out, I think it needs to look like that personally. Anyway, that's a debate probably for another day. Okay, so that was the first one, Ollie's tank. So we're gonna go 4, and then we're gonna do a poll on the 4, and then we'll look at the next 4. That makes sense. but nobody's commented on any of the tanks. So if you don't want to see a tank entered into the poll, please mention it in the comments. Right then, next one we have got is let's look. Swiss Reefer. I quite like this one for the size. I do like this tank. Yeah. Do you know much about it, Josh? You know, another one of your choices. Anything you can tell us about it? Because I know you've probably spent more time looking at this guy than I have on Instagram.
Yeah, so it's a good couple of years old now, this tank. He's got you can see in the bottom corners of the tank, he's got a lot of closed loops in there. I think it's 4 vectors, I think, that are running the closed loop system.
That tank. Can't get a feel of the dimension.
Off the top of my head, I'm going to say it's 120. It's a square, and it's I think 120. So I think it's 3 foot by 3. Is that 3 foot? No, 4 foot. 4x4. I think it's 4x4, and it's viewable from all sides. So it's a really nice tank. Any angle you look at it, he's got sort of 4 little bomby islands in there. Obviously the side we're viewing it from is the front viewing pane, so you've got that nice graded aquascape going back, so you don't miss anything. Obviously, if you look from the back, you're not going to see the corals at the front. But it's just a lovely clean tank. There's no wave makers on the glass. It's sort of that bit of a goal, really. If I'm honest, if I could have no wave makers on the glass, I'd do that. I wouldn't be able to walk the entire way around the tank and look at it from every angle, so you can see all the corals. But yeah, just a nice clean tank. A lot of thought went into it. I'm a big fan of the panel light, and I think a lot of the tanks that I've chosen, you'll see, will have big panels of light. They'll either have big LED panels, they'll have T5s, or they'll have like a combination of different lights that will light up a large area. I always think it just looks so much better than like a spot LED over the center of a tank.
Nice.
So why do you like that one then, Rob? I'm really curious here. Why do you like that one as opposed to the previous one? What do you prefer?
Well, the sand's not bleached white, perfect. So I think because I don't like.
I'm looking forward to what you say about one of the next tanks in a minute. Then, okay, come on then. So it's not going to pass the Dad's Doorstep challenge. That one.
Exactly. Yeah, it just looks a bit more natural. I mean, that's impressive. No wave makers. Yeah,
I like it.
Nice fish. Yeah, nice fish. Yeah, I quite like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we've got a big leather, haven't we? We've got a big mushroom on the right hand side. I look total, sorry, even on the right hand side, and
nice
nem there. Yeah, bit of fabric at the back. Nice. Okay, so that's number 2 in the mix for the first round, and then we've got this one.
See, that's an out of date picture. That one, because they've got sand in there now as well.
Have they? Well, I do apologise, but like I said, while I was upstairs for the last hour and a half in my pajamas trying to put this together this morning, that's all I could find. But no, I think this was the most topical one when they first started posting. Was the like I said, the clean. Go on.
It doesn't look real.
Clean bottom,
but it is.
Well, I said that to Liam about 6 months ago. I said to him, I've messaged him. I said, I think they might be fake corals. I don't know why. Because you never see anything moving other than the fish in the water. I don't know. Yeah, I've never really saw. I think there are a few LPS. I think in their defence that do move. Yeah, you can
see that it's like sort of on the left hand side to the bottom there, where the powder blue is next to it. There, I think that's a torch.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
okay,
I think so. Yeah, but yeah, right. They've done a couple of videos where they do close ups, and you can see they have real polyps on them, and they are real corals. And I think it's an absolutely stunning tank. I love the Panta Rye pumps as well. I think they're great.
Yeah,
I love how much power they push out. But yeah, what an awesome tank in terms of
that is a Microsoft desktop though, isn't it? Image as well.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
It looks better with sanding now because you can't see the bases, and it doesn't look as unnatural. It looks much nicer with sanding.
Yeah,
I'm sure
the pump's nice. The Panta Rye pump, and I've got nothing against the lights.
Got a nice shoulder chromis in there for you as well.
Everything in between the pump and the lights.
What, the chromis, Rob?
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Can I just? I've seen that before. I've seen those pictures. I've seen on Instagram. Yeah, that is just everything. I don't like.
Oh dear. And the last one. So yeah, we've done 3 so far. And the last one for the the 4th tank in the first round is this one, which I quite like. Again, Reef Lucy. Whereabouts are this tank from? Do you know, Josh? Another one that you mentioned.
Sure, this might be maybe a Korean or Chinese or Japanese. It's that area of the world.
Yeah, Japanese.
Wow.
Thanks.
We spoke about this before, didn't we? I think, Rob,
yeah.
where there's some absolutely incredible tanks, and they do it with quite simple lighting a lot of the time as well. You know, the sort of screw-in LED bulbs you get that you can buy from like AliExpress. They do it with those, and you just say, I don't think this tank is actually running anymore. Potentially, I think the last time this was last posted in 2021.
Right. Okay.
But I just love the fact he's got 2 islands. It's not the biggest tank, I don't think. I think it makes itself look bigger than what it actually is. But yeah, the 2 little islands. There was another guy. I think it was Wensano's Reef or something. Very similar in terms of shape. I was a big fan of both with his tank as well, but his tank, I believe, is gone now. But yeah, I know it's a Far East, as we would say, tank. Yeah, but sadly no longer there. But I keep it on as a follower, so I can look back at it and have a look and think a little bit of inspiration for hopefully when I get bigger and better.
Yeah.
Right then. What was your favourite one out of those 4 then, Rob?
The second one.
Right. Okay.
Swiss Reefer one. Yeah.
Swiss Reef.
No.
Yeah.
That was the second one.
Swiss Reef.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna just you two talk amongst yourselves for a minute because I am just doing the first poll.
I always feel conscious of saying I don't like people's tanks because I don't want them to feel insulted that I don't like their tank. It's just a personal choice. There's nothing wrong with the tanks. It's just you know, everyone has their things they like and dislike, I guess.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm gonna go out on a whim and say I don't think it's a case of you're not gonna look at it and go, that's horrible. It's just it's not your taste, is it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You still, I mean, I know you have full appreciation
very, very
for it.
Impressive tank. Yeah. I mean, it's a stunning tank. It's just not how I would aesthetically.
That's just not. That's exactly it, though, isn't it? That's the. I think that's one of the best things about the hobby is that there are, as much as we say, oh, they're reef tanks. There are so many different ways and types of setups you can have that you can cater for so many different tastes.
I mean, I think you're right, Joe. I think most people like those sort of tanks because you both like those. It always makes me think when I look at my tank. Most people must go, looks a bit shit, Rob. Looks a bit messy.
just to give everyone.
It's your tank. So
it is my tank. Yeah. I mean, I like my tank, but I just it's funny, isn't it? People look at it and just
refresh people's memories.
Lee went, you should put sand in that, mate. That's what Lee said.
Right, just a quick refresh on the 4. I put in the 4 votes. So we've got Ollie's tank, which was the first one, Swiss Reefer, which was the second one, Mrs. Emotions, which is the third one, and then we've got Reef Lucy, which is the 4th one. So if you want to give us a vote, I'm going to add a few more tanks in there. Because we've had a few more comments. Just going to jump to the comments now. What else we've got in here?
It's got 15 votes and it's going the way I'd expected it to, actually.
Is it? Right,
okay. Exactly. That's the exact order I'd have put those 4 in, is the way it's going by the looks of things.
Right, well, we'll let it go to 11 and then I'll call it off. And then we'll do the next one.
There's one reefer we've not mentioned actually yet in terms of inspiration and information. That's I've mentioned him a few times on the streams. Is Reef Sight, Sunny Harry Ali. He's been about on the forums for 20 plus years. He's always had incredible SPS tanks. Well, the mixed reefs actually, I'll be honest, they are SPS dominated, but they are mixed reefs. And he's always been very open, shares a lot of information about what he does, why he does it, how he does it. And his new tank he's got going now is absolutely rammed full of SPS, and they are, again, it's very similar to what Ollie's tank did. There's a lot of easier SPS in there which will fill out quickly and make it look like a really nice established system. But he's someone that, again, he's always willing to help as well. If you drop him a message on Instagram, he'll always get back to you and always give you some information or some advice if you ask for it. So I think, yeah, he definitely deserves an honourable mention in terms of people that are inspirational and are helpful in the hobby.
What's he called? I don't know.
Reef Site.
Reef Site. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
SITE, not SIGHT. Yeah, amazing system. Absolutely amazing. If you go back on, I think he's got them on. I think he might have had them on reefkeeping.com on that really old forum.
Is he American?
He's had, yes, yeah,
right.
And then he's been on Reef to Reef for a very long time as well. He always does his tank. He always updates his tank builds on there as well, which is nice. I tried to do it a few times, but you just sort of lose track of things, and just stop doing it because if I'm updating the Instagram, that's sort of enough for me, if that makes sense. But no, he always keeps. He does his Instagram. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got his Reef to Reef account, and he always keeps everyone in the loop about as much as he can. So yeah, very helpful.
I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, there's a lot of coral in there, Rob, so you might not like it too much, but.
Right, 5 more minutes for the poll, guys. So if you haven't placed a vote, please do so, and let's jump on to the next lot. So we've gone over the first 4. Again, like I keep saying, if you want to see one added to this poll, please do message us or put it in the comments so I can create a picture of it.
Juki's just said about Viking Reef. Actually, he's got some nice tanks.
Yes. You want to add Viking Reef? Okay, we'll add Viking Reef.
This tank's difficult for me because it's spotlessly clean, which I'm like, but he's got some stunning fish in it.
Right, just jump on to the next 4. We've done this right. Right then, so the next one, Mara's Reef. What do you think to that?
Who put this one? Is this one yours?
This one's one of mine, yeah.
But it wouldn't be mine, Josh, would it?
No, it definitely wouldn't be yours. See, have you got a picture of it with the full spectrum lighting as well?
No, because all she does is loads of videos, and they're really good. But yeah, definitely recommend you look at it.
That tank full spectrum. I don't see. I'm a bit with Rob on that. I don't like the look of that because I'm not a fan of heavy blues.
Honestly, I'm sorry. I was busy this morning. That's the best I could do. Do apologise.
That tank is massive as well, like really deep front to back, isn't it? It looks quite shallow front to back there, but it is. I'd say it's a good 4 foot front to back, if not more, maybe 5. Really long.
Just see the power head in the background, actually, at the top. Yeah,
it's massive that tank.
Yeah, it's deceptive. Actually, I thought that was a small tank at first.
Are you able to drag it up on Instagram, Tom? See if you can play one of the reels.
I can't because I can't log into my Instagram because I forgot my password. It's saved on my phone, so I tried doing it this morning. So apologies, I can't. I don't know whether I can get her on a different window. Actually,
you should be able to do it. You should be able to just do it on Instagram. I think if you just go on, it should let you do it. Maybe.
No, it tells you to log in. Oh,
is it?
Yeah, did all that one earlier. Let's have a look. See if it lets me. Well, it might be letting me. Hang on. Let's have a look. Yeah, log in. Telling me to log in. I'm afraid. But yeah, very nice tank. Definitely recommend you looking at it. It's actually, yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look. I'm not aware of
that. Have to have a look. Yeah. Anyway, right, we've got 5 minutes. Move on to the next one. Conscious of time. So that's the first one for the round 2. And we've got this one, which I think a lot of people have been talking about in the comments, referring to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice tank.
Very nice tank. Yeah. The picture doesn't do it justice. The video's a lot better. But
what part of the world is he? Is he American?
German.
I think he's German. I think. Yeah.
Right.
German.
That interesting fact about this. I think the house was purpose built around the tank.
Blimey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember. I don't know if it was he did a YouTube video about it with somebody else, but I've spoken to him a few times on Instagram about it, and basically I think him and his partner saved up for a very long time to have their own purpose-built house, and basically it was to be built around that tank, and they've obviously got the massive sump room down below it, but that literally was the reef tank is going to be the centerpiece, and then everything else is built around it.
Yeah, I mean, certainly achieved that.
That's incredible, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah.
Do you like that one? Like that one, Rob? Yeah, happy with that one?
Yeah, I like the links of the tanks as well. They're nice.
Yeah, I do.
Viewing. I mean, they come with problems, obviously, with flow and stuff, but yeah, they do look stunning, don't they?
Mm.
Yeah,
they do. Right then,
and
so that's number 2.
Collection.
Yeah. Third one then for the second round, we've gone for Saxby, which I know we've already talked about. But yeah, I know we talked about it earlier, Rob. But yeah, it's an impressive system. It is. It is. Yeah. I mean, right, we'll jump straight.
It's insane.
Would you do anything different with yours, Rob, if you had a second time round? Incidentally, anything you'd change on yours? I know it's not the same size, but it's similar. Go bigger, would you?
If I could.
Wow.
I'd like a deep. I think that's about 4 foot deep, isn't it? I like the depth. You get good just behaviour in fish, and obviously just get more corals in, can't you, with the depth? But it does significantly add to the price of the build.
And you have to get in to physically do anything with it.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah.
And then the fourth one is this one, Reef Sorrow. Thick mania there, Joshua.
Very good.
Lots of thicks.
Big fan. And lots of decent size stuff as well.
Yeah, they're decent sized colonies, isn't they?
Yeah. Trying to think, if he's still another one that's, I believe he's back out in sort of Asia as well.
Yeah, Asia. Yeah, definitely Asia. Thing Indonesian.
There are so many tanks out there that you just don't see because they don't post very much of, and they don't obviously get that much coverage. But there's some tanks out there that you'll have never heard of, and they're just absolutely stunning. They just don't get the credit they deserve.
Yeah,
where is it?
I don't know if they got their own like social media platforms. I guess they had the Chinese on it, haven't they? But
yeah, so that tank's not running anymore either. I don't know if it is running anymore, but he's not posted since 2021. So I would assume, it's Korea. So I would assume that the tank's not running, but that's a T5 LED hybrid system. So again, big coverage of lighting, which you can see with how bright the corals are and how well lit they all are.
Yeah. Right. I am ending the poll now. So the winner of round 1 was Swift Reefer.
Yeah.
So I'll look again. Where are we? That one. So Swift Reefer gets through the first round. Well done, Swift Reefer. Right then. Sorry, boys. You're going to have to entertain everybody a minute because I need to add everybody into the second chat now. Let's have a look.
It was, I don't know if you've ever seen it, Rob. It was, what was he called? Oh, it was a Swedish guy. Kimmy's Reef, it was called. It was a little tiny nano system. I think it was only about 30 or 40 litres, the display. The sump, I think, was bigger than the display. He's not about anymore, but that was a really dead simple system. That was one of the first ones I saw on Instagram and thought, that's an absolutely stunning tank. I don't know that. I'll see if I can find the picture. I shared it on because he shut that tank down, started a new one. I believe he ran a plant shop or something like that, and his work was sort of taken over, and then out of nothing, the Instagram page just disappeared, which was a real shame because it was. I think it was more his photography skills that were captivating. He did some really interesting angles, some interesting views, and it was quite creative with his content.
Yeah, it's just something that way, you got that.
Yeah, it was really engaging. And you're right, it's one of those things that I think if your content's engaging, your tank potentially might not be as good as the next person's, but if the content's engaging and looks great, people are going to be more willing to want to look at it.
Yeah.
I think that was his.
Very true,
he was sort of the Instagram inspiration for me, if I'm honest. It was that sort of, like we discussed before, it's another facet of the hobby. And he was my sort of Instagram inspiration, so to speak. Just trying to see if I can find it now.
I've always liked Julian Sprung's pond by his house.
Yeah.
It's very simple, but I love that. I'd love to be able to do that if I lived somewhere, at the right climate. I think that's just a great idea.
Give it 20 years, mate, and I think it will be warm enough here eventually, wouldn't it?
It's quite possible, yeah.
Right, I've just stepped just set that one going. So just to give the viewers a bit of a polite refresher, I'm going to jump back on again and show you the next 4. So we were going for Mara's, Martin S, David Saxby, and Reef Sorrow. So cast a vote now. Right then. Just got a few more to add to it, boys, that people are asking me to add in. What's the comment? Yeah, we've had a couple that I'm going to start adding in now. What do you think what do you think the common sort of similarities are with some of these that we're all liking are?
Lots of SPS.
Layout.
Lots of sticks.
I knew lots of sticks. Lots of sticks. I think they're very clean, aren't they? And well put together in terms of colour contrast. That's definitely something I'd say. But
here you go. Here's the. I don't know if you can see it. Where am I going? There.
Oh yeah.
Really simple.
Yeah, it is
really
a small
simple
little tank, isn't it? Shallow.
Yeah, it was absolutely tiny. I mean, you can get this. So that was a really small clown that he had in there as well. He had just 2 clowns in there. Turning the camera around here. Yeah, really simple, really nice setup, and yeah, it was. It showed that it didn't have that. You'll quite appreciate it actually. I think because it was 2 islands. One had SPS and the other one was LPS and softies and things. So it was a nice little mix. Very clean, very simple.
I think you're right. I think there's a lot of really nice tanks out there, but because, well, I'll be a classic example. My photography skills are just useless. My creative skills are below that. So I'm sure if someone else had my tank who was just, brilliant with a camera and more creative, they'd probably do a much better job than I do showing the tank off. It's I find it quite a difficult thing to do, really. I mean, my idea is I turn my phone on, I take a bit of video, and that's it. I'm done. So I'm sure there's been hours.
Have you seen? There's a guy called Josh Sills. Have you seen him? I don't know if you follow him, Rob.
No.
Most of his content is focused on his fish.
Right.
I think he's someone that the quality of his photos are incredible as well.
Where's he from?
Southampton, I think.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think I followed him. No. What's it on Insta?
Yeah, Josh Sills. There you are. Yeah, there's his page. You can see lots of photos of fish.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll get on that.
Yeah, his profile. Yeah, yeah. His is a cracking. His photography is amazing.
Yeah, it's a definite skill, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a feeling he might. Well, I'm assuming he must be a professional photographer. There's no other way. You can't be that good as a hobby.
Yeah, well, I had Tony Vargas come, didn't he, to see my tank, and he obviously came with his camera and he just took some pictures of like my anthers.
Wow!
And he just showed me the pictures, and I was just like, "You've been in here like 2 minutes, and you've taken pictures that I've never been able to take my whole life." It just obviously you just need to learn. I went as far as I bought camera. I bought this SLR digital Canon. I thought, I'll start getting into it. And then I was just like, no, it's boring.
That's the thing, isn't it? I think
sorry, I'm just going to jump into... sorry, mate. I'm just going to jump into some of these comments. We've not had a look at what people have been commenting. Reef, Ron's saying he agrees with you, Josh. White vinyl on the outside, bottom glass, super easy to keep clean.
Yeah, Ron's also very fastidious on his tank. He's got a really nice tank. You'd love his tank, Josh. Yeah, it's got a very nice tank.
I'm gonna have a look now.
Spotlessly clean. I don't even know he's on Instagram.
Norfolk Reefer, morning Norfolk Reefer, Denzo Reef, torch tank, very different. Still love the AAC big display every time I go in. Big inspiration for me seeing that tank. Yeah, it is a nice tank.
It is nice.
Very nice. Lee's saying, what's Lee put? Anderson's Family Reef on YouTube as well. You could only have one choice, mate. So which one do you want me to add? You'll have to let me know.
Never seen that one.
Rob's sitting here thinking that they're all. Sorry, been late, been working.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Thanks, Tekers. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Lee, you have to pick one. You can't pick every tank. I said, just give me one suggestion. I'm trying to do the artwork in the background while these guys are talking. Let's have a look. Who else people have been commenting? So, Lee, decide which one you want me to add, and I will add one each. Mickey Boy Mick, 100% real. I think he's talking about the. I was on about the emotions tank. Yeah. Morning, Mick. So look, what's got here? Another one. March did. Fragbox made a video. Bloke was a plumber or something. Insane tank. Need a bit more description, Liam, please, to narrow it down. Let's have a look. What else we got?
I like March's little peninsula they had in the shop. That was a nice little tank.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you watch a little mini peninsula, wasn't it?
Yeah, the British invasion video they did yesterday. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. No, I did see the thumbnail.
Yeah. I wonder what tanks from 25 years ago would look like compared to today's tanks. Lots of halides, I imagine.
See, that's something I use as inspiration. Like sort of 2000, I think it was about 2002 was the furthest I went back with the reef keeping articles, and some of them are, well, I'd say quite a lot of them are probably elite. Yeah, there's loads of them are better than they are now today, because people were, I'm assuming, potentially a bit more patient back then, and things were quite simply done rather than having. We've got so much variety on how we can do things now, haven't we? I mean, back then it was probably just water changes, calc, and 2-part. That was pretty much all the options you had.
Yeah.
Or maybe a calcium reactor as well. But now there's so many ways to do things that I think you almost get a little bit of overkill.
Yeah.
Lee's saying the Martin S tank is his dream tank. Spoke to me a few times. Really nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
John's giving a big shout out for Jay. His little box of love, box of water. Which I love your tank. Oh, John, bit of controversy. I hate the Swiss Reefer look.
Hate's a strong word, John. Strong word.
Yeah, tell us why, John. Tell us in the comments. I'll get to it shortly.
It's a man after your heart, Rob.
Josh, why does your light keep going off?
Because the schedule doesn't start until midday, so I'm having to put it on a scene on Mobius. Yeah. The scene lasts an hour. I could put it on for longer, but it's only on for an hour in case I forget about it when I'm taking photos of the tank, and then it'll just skip back to the schedule. It's not far off what the color of the tank is on the day anyway.
Not sure would you like it now. Return pump stopped for 3 days whilst I was on holiday, and the salinity spike has killed some of my corals. This hobby can get us questioning why we do it.
It's a nightmare.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's
a nightmare.
Oh, that sucks.
It is a bit of a curse going on holiday for the people I talk to that are, there always seems to be something goes wrong.
It's funny that nothing goes wrong while you're home, and then you go away for a few days and everything breaks.
Yeah. So it's just shut the front door. Bosh.
Yeah.
Morning, Gareth. My Reefspiration when I first started was Inappropriate Reefer and Aaron's Aquarium. Still love watching Inappropriate Reef to this day and like his vlog style videos.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's quite laid back, casual. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. Tank is really struggling at the moment. Did a big water change and praying, crossing fingers and toes for you, mate. Everything is lost a couple of gonnies for sure. Oh no. Oh dear. Thanks, guys. Touch and go for the next few days. Going on holiday, bit of sweet with this hobby. You can't fully relax. Your tank is always in the back of your mind. Yeah,
that's right. It's right. Yeah,
great. Agree there.
Yeah.
Right, what you giving me a Reef Junkie 87? Right, okay.
I don't know that. The Anderson's family one sounds familiar. I think I might have seen
I've never seen that. Never heard of it.
I think it's pretty humongous.
The Swiss one just doesn't look natural to me. Too minimalist. And we've got another viewer, ABC123. Thanks for joining us. Right, we'll skip to this poll because it's been going on a little bit longer than I expected, and it's finished with a majority vote of Mr. Saxby won that round.
Understandable.
Yeah. David Saxby, 62%, Martin, 37%, Mara's and Reef Sorrel got 0. Right then.
0.
So Swiss Reef.
I'm going to hazard a guess and say Mr. Saxby might win the entire thing.
Oh, right, okay.
That's my.
Right, we've still got time. We've still got time. Right then. So that was the first 4. Let me get my order of this presentation. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right then. So We've got some more to show you now. Give us your comments. I'm going to do a poll again in a minute. Let me see if I can do this right. So this is the next one. Intermarine.
Look at that.
Wow. I mean, that's grown out.
Intermarine.
What a belter. No prizes for guessing what area of the world it is in.
Yeah. Yeah. Thoughts? Comments? You've just speechless, Josh. That's just heaven, I take it. That is literally
amazing.
like...
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, look how well grown in that is. That tank's got to have been so stable for so long to have had that much growth.
Now, I love sticks, and I do like that. But all I can think about is there's just nowhere for the fish to swim.
I mean,
they're swimming in amongst the corals, aren't they?
That's not very dense.
There's not really much room, I suppose. There, yeah. Rob, obviously you're the fish guy, Rob. Do you find that the more habitat there is, like the more corals, the more grown in a tank is, the more you'll see the fish swimming out in front? Because
they like to have that security. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So like big grown in tanks like that, you'll see your fish more.
They're two regal tanks, there, aren't they? They look very tiny, like they're like they're newly in.
Yeah, they're definitely newly in those, aren't they? Smaller than the chromis.
Yeah.
So they bash the crap out of those corals when they get big.
Yeah. I think whether you like it or not, you've got to dip your hat and say hats off to this person for the work and effort must go into that.
Yeah, that is an impressive tank.
And it's just done with 4 radions as well. And I think if you look back through the Instagram page for him, I think he just has the 4 radions on it the entire time.
I wonder if there's a space all along the back. I wonder if that's like a spine down the middle, or whether that's right up against the back of the tank.
Yeah, I think the only pictures he has is from this angle. So yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
Right then.
It's amazing.
So that's the first one for the third round. Going against the reef jewels we talked about earlier, Josh.
Yes.
You were a big fan of. Yeah. I think I think the one thing you have got to applaud with the amount of effort into such a, what is it, a 170? Is that the same as yours? 170?
No, so mine's 200. So mine's 55. Oh no, 57 deep. I think it is. I think that is literally a 60 cube. So it would be slightly like a tiny bit bigger than mine. So it'd be around system. But I think he's actually got a custom sump on it as well. So I think the system volume is actually a lot bigger than mine. The sump's not just sat straight underneath like mine. It goes down into the cabinet and then runs along to another cabinet where it's actually quite a big sump area.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Stunning tank.
But we've talked about this one, so let's jump straight on
tank we've got in there.
It is, I think. It is. Yeah. We've got GG Reef Project.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a few mushrooms in there, just for the sassy lovers. Lots of sticks again, though, fortunately.
That one again, another really like well lit tank. It's, I believe, I can see the cable's coming out. It's 3 ATI Stratons, the first iteration of the Straton, which is, if I had my way, that is the light of choice for me. I think it just looks, the first one, not the newer one of the two. I just think it looks aesthetically really nice in terms of hanging over a tank. And it just produces that really uniform T5 look with LEDs. Again, sunlight, really simple corals again, though, isn't it?
Yeah, like nothing out of the ordinary.
No, and that's the thing. I think big grown-in corals with nice color. They don't have to be these big rainbows. It can be really simple colors that are nice and bold and stand out and contrast each other. I think look better potentially than the big rainbow tanks.
Lots of flow by the looks of it. I mean, what we got on that back wall? A couple of 40s, 240s there, 240s there.
Nice one. Oh dear me.
Oh dear. Well, straight onto it.
There we go. It's the winner. So my caveat with this is just remove all the bias about the bloke with the money and the fact he's got 48 members of staff looking after the tank. I'll just look at the tank. I don't want to deal with all the rest of it. The tank is stunning. That's my take on it. Otherwise, you bring all the other stuff into, everyone's got opinions on the bloke and whatever, but the actual tank itself and the quality of the fish that he's put in there is just absolutely stunning. I mean, I just sit and watch the videos of that tank and the fish, and I just think, my God.
There's a lot of tangs, aren't there?
It's just a lot of everything. I mean, he's got about 7 Lenardi wrasse in there, and he's just, you know, he's got multiple Achilles tangs, and it's just amazing. I love it.
Yeah. See, I know everyone does things differently, don't they? I'd prefer to see bigger sort of acropora tabling, because he's got the space in it to have really nice tables of acropora. There's a lot of like sort of, I know we just said that simple corals are really nice, but when you've got the space like that to actually allow the acropora to grow into their natural form, I think it would be a wasted opportunity to not done it. And then to have like a huge shoal of, let's say, chromis or anthias or something similar to really replicate what you'd find if you were swimming on a reef in the wild, I think that would look amazing.
Yeah.
It's an incredible tank, don't get me wrong.
So for me, I like the tank.
Right, so we've got Intermarine versus Reef Jewels, and John Wright's asking me, is it a fish only tank? I don't think it is it, Josh? But I can't see any fish. Sorry, coral only tank.
No,
I can't see any.
You said there's fish in there.
Yeah. I think there's about 10 to 12 in there. But you just can't. It's just sod's law that when you took the picture, there's none in view.
None in view. And we've got the Gigi Reef Project, and we've got Mr. Adam Sandler as well. So I'm going to put a poll in there in a minute. Who's your favourite guys of
those 3 tanks? You can't see any cleanup crew at all in it. I didn't see a single snail, urchin. I mean, they might be in there, but I didn't see any. So I don't know whether they just do it all by hand or what.
I imagine they're one of those things that unless you're like actively looking for them up close, you probably don't see them too often anyway, do you?
I don't know. No. I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's time of day as well. Don't know when I took the picture there. Yeah.
Is that poll up now, is it?
I'm just about to do it now. You guys keep... sorry, I know you have to pretend to get on with each other, but you'll have to do it a bit longer.
Oh, don't say that. Start spreading rumours, Tom.
No, I'm nearly there. Nearly there. And we've got Polo Reef. Right. Gone. In the mix of it. So give us your votes on those 4. And hopefully we'll get... we've only got another 1 or 2 rounds left, I believe.
Right then. I was going to say.
So
we've done 12.
12. So we're getting on to the last 4. We might have time for a 5th one, but we're going to struggle to get the finalists otherwise, because I can only put 4 in at a time. So the next 4 are, let's have a look. Share my screen. 1 second. Need to get a mouse for this laptop. Make life a lot easier. Right. Susie Coral. And again, I'm probably not doing some of these tanks justice, because I've had to take screenshots as such with me wanting stills and not videos. So apologies here, but I've gone with what I could get this morning in the time frame I had. So this is Mr. Tusi Cole, and he started working for Mr. Sandler now, hasn't he? If I remember rightly.
Yeah. I think this tank's been up. Is it 17 years or something? He did a video, didn't he, a couple of weeks ago?
He did one with the guy from Top Shelf with the really annoying moustache that he needs to shave off.
Dwayne, is it? Oh, yeah.
That's the one.
So just to run a tank for that long is impressive. But yeah, I mean, he's got some lovely stuff in there. I mean, that's a lot of sticks.
Yeah, Andrew Sandler. Yeah, Adam Sandler. Andrew. Yeah, not happy Gilmore. I like that. I like it. I like the fact he takes a lot of it down and rescapes it as well every couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you have to with that amount of growth, wouldn't you? Really.
Very deep, isn't it? Like quite a top to bottom depth wise, not front to back.
Yeah.
So very deep tank. But I imagine it's quite a hard tank to work on, I'm going to guess.
Yeah, it looked like access from the top looked to be a pain in the arse, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's nice.
I like the overhang. I do like overhangs like that.
Yeah. Yeah, getting the swim throughs and stuff. It's nice.
I like the way.
Are they closed, closed loops? Are they closed loops down there?
Where are you looking?
See above the word coral, there's like 2 pipes, 3 pipes, is that? I can't work out that's.
I don't know if that's the way he's got like bits that he can like add and take out.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. You're probably right, actually. Yeah. Like mounting blocks.
Yeah.
Closed loops. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's critical. It's critical. I like the way Tussie Crawl has 2 viewing sides in different rooms in his tank. Yeah. Yeah.
A room divider.
Yeah, it's nice.
Liam's saying yes, he runs a closed loop.
Oh, he does. Oh, okay.
Very nice. Right then, so that is number 1 for the final round, or the next round, should I say. We'll see what we're like with time. Sorocabara Reef, Brazilian reefer. This one, it's one that Christian messaged me actually earlier about. Again, probably not the greatest picture, I'm afraid, because the lighting.
Yeah,
colour of the lighting, but very nice. Some very nice sticks in there.
See, he looks like he's gone down the shop, bought himself 50 frags, put them in a tank, and taken a picture.
That's me. That's what he's done. That's what he's done.
Yeah, I don't know. They haven't based out or anything.
Josh is just in awe. There's love arts floating around his head at the minute.
See, I start off with little 1-inch sticks. He's gone and bought colonies. He's cheating.
Yeah, none of them are based out.
I'm with Rob on this one. Then none of them are based out. Yeah, they're all fresh.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Once that grows in, it's going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But it looks like one of the comments I actually got about my my mounting system when I first obviously put the pictures up and that. I can't remember what the word someone used on it. It looks like trash was one of the comments I got on one of my Instagram posts. They said that they liked the escape, but the mounting system looked like trash. And I was like, look. But you're not going to see it eventually, so I don't really care. To be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that was the point.
Like say, when that grows out, it'll look. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that picture's taken.
If you see I was expecting the Brazilian reef to just have a thick strip running through the middle of it. I wonder where you get that idea from.
Yeah.
Right then. So, and then with the next one, we've got unorthodox.
Good reef.
Yeah,
very good reef.
Yeah, I like
again
that.
A lot of depth front to back. I don't think you don't get the sense of depth from this front on view like that.
No, it's a big tank. Yeah, it's got nice everything in there. Nice
I think
fish,
that's it. Is that a recent picture where he's chopped it back a little bit as well? Because it was like all the corals, unless it's like an early picture before it had grown in, because all the corals
I know what you mean, 'cause it's a bit more, a little bit more space.
He had loads that had reached the surface, didn't he?
Yeah,
I've just tried to go with ones that I could, like I said, that people have took photos, because lots of people on Insta, it's video. So yeah, it was hard to get a still for this morning's stream. But yeah, it's a nice tank. Some nice fish in there as well. Rob,
yeah, it's got some lovely fish. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why I followed him. It was the fish that hooked me.
Good. Well, that's one of the first ones that we've all agreed that we all like. And then the next one, I think this is because a lot of people I've had 2 or 3 people message me asking me to add this one in, is Mogsy's tank.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. His old, was it a 350?
I think
it was 350. I think so. Yeah. Lots going on there. Yeah. Didn't know him that well in the early days before he came to do a video on my DT. Thought it was wet, but yeah, very well grown out tank. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those tanks that can show people what it could, what your wall to wall, definitely wall to wall. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I hope he's doing it. Nicely grown in. Yeah, and he needs to come back on the channel. He's missed. Right then. So we're going to finish the last poll. Let's have a look how it's been getting on. Oh, Yeah, a bit unanimous, this one. So,
Sandler.
Yeah, Polo's Reef has won round 3. Right. And just so a look, Intermarine got 18 votes, so they're really heavy grown. SPS one got 18 votes, Reef Joel 6, and GG Project 6. So thanks for people that are voting. But we will need your votes in the next couple of rounds because we're getting down to the nitty gritty now. What's your favourite so far, Rob? The last one, Unorthodox? Sorry, the one before Muggsy's, or?
Well, if I had to pick what out of that 4, you mean, or out of all of them?
Out of all of them so far, who's your favourite?
I'll probably go Polo.
Really?
I like big tanks. There's no getting around it. I like a massive tank.
Ah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Do you think you could go and work for Mr. Sandler?
No.
If you got it? No. Oh no. Why not? You want to?
I couldn't work for anyone, Tom. Part of my behavioural traits is I don't like being told what to do.
Yeah. Well, that's 2 of us, I suppose. That's 2 of us. I mean, I'm just as inquisitive, interested in what goes on behind the scenes with Polo's Reef as I am the tank. The amount of stuff he does downstairs is unreal.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you were here for that one, Josh, but Polo Reef won that one.
Yeah.
Were you unanimous for? Right, okay. Right, so what was your favourite one so far, mate?
Out of all of the tanks we've seen so far?
Yeah. You've got to pick one.
It's gonna be one of the Asian reefing tanks. Intermarine was great. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones we've seen already. Reef Sasoru, that was really good. Reef Lucy, I like those tanks. I think, with the big lighting over them, lots of like really well grown in Acropora colonies, they win it for me. As I appreciate the size and scale and what Saxby and Andrew have done with their tanks. But I think for me, I'll look at something that is potentially more achievable for myself. Something that I would potentially look to do in the future. And that's how I'd pick mine more as a sort of favorite or inspirational tanks. As much as they are incredible tanks, if I had to pick one, I'm going to pick something that I'd look at as a goal potentially in the future. So yeah, I'd say definitely one of the Asian tanks for sure.
Right, last round then. I think, well, if I spelled something wrong, I'm sure some real comment point it out for me, but I'll get the drift. So final round then, and then I'll put everybody head to head for the overall winner. So, what do you think these tanks we're looking at, do you think, I know I tried talking about it a minute earlier, what do you think they've all got in common? Do you think why do we think they are our dream tanks? Is it the colour? Is it the equipment, the fish, what do you think it is? I know for me and Josh, it's probably sticks, but why do you think why do you think people would class these as inspirational tanks? Anything?
No, Rob. I don't know. I mean, I suppose to me, it's just something that's different to what I've got. Is something that I like to see people just doing things slightly differently. I guess that's why I like the big. I mean, the reason I like big tanks because I'm still very aware of a lot of the tanks I see. I think they're not big enough for the fish in them, and ethnically, I find it difficult. And because I'm a diver and I just see fish swimming on the reef, other than very specific fish like maybe clowns and some gobies, fish just swim so far on a reef day in, day out, and in a tank they don't get to do it. So I'm always conscious, which is why I like big tanks. Basically, that's why I like big tanks, because I think the fish need a lot of space, and I think most of the fish in our hobby are not given the space they should. It's controversial, I guess, but that's kind of where I'm with it. So that's why I just like big tanks, really.
We sort of had a discussion over WhatsApp, didn't we, Rob? We were saying about looking at something to stock my tank with once we go through the fallow period. And what we were saying about like cardinal fish, and we were sort of nothing more than 2 inches at max size. Just because it's unfair to put, I had a wrasse that was about 4 inches, and it wasn't happy. It was pacing the glass. And it's, as much as I want to rat in the tank again, I probably won't get one unless it is about 2 inches long, because it's just not fair on having that fish in such a confined space. Yeah. But yeah, going back to your original question there, Tom, why do we find it inspirational? I think it's probably a combination of the things you said: the size of the colonies, the colors of the colonies, and it's things we can look at, and it's potentially end game tank or end game goals for whatever we're doing. So it's the finished article, and you think, yeah, that's something that I would like to achieve one day. That's why for me, I think personally, I'd imagine there's probably quite a lot of people that are fairly similar.
I quite like long-term tanks as well. I like to look at a tank that's, because some people set a tank up in a year, they reset it or they move on and do something. But I also I appreciate people, like Tootsie, and that tank's been there for 17 years. Saxby's been there for I don't know how long, but it takes a lot of time and effort and dedication to just keep a tank running for years. It's very easy to go, it looks a bit rubbish, I'll just strip it all out and restart it. But I'm more inspired by people that come through those times and just carry on with the tank, and it sits there for 10 years or so.
Then have you got Stevie Carrigan on Facebook?
No, I don't think so.
He posts, I think he might be on some of the forums, but he's not on Instagram. But his tank, I think you'd quite appreciate that. There's a lot of sticks in there, but there's a lot of LPS, SPS, and that's a really long run tank. I think the tank's been running for a very long time.
Okay. What's it called?
Right.
Stevie Carrigan.
Okay, I'll have a look.
He's got a really cool tank.
Yeah.
We've seen his before, Tom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really nice setup. If you might be up in Scotland.
Yeah, very well grown out tank. Yeah. And one for the LPS lovers as well. Plenty of what looks like Lobos and Ammers and Gonnies. Very nice, very colourful. Yeah.
Hey, have you had a look at the votes on this round?
I've not yet. No, what we're looking at.
Have a little look.
In for the Steve. Wow. I think for me, the reason why I find them inspirational is, you just touched on it, Josh, is you wouldn't call an inspirational tank something that was A, covered in algae with a dirty sandbed, B, lots of little frags with no growth, and I think C, something that had got just lots of fish in it, Rob. Sorry.
It's just playing our tanks, basically, Rob. I've got the small frags, you've got the loads of fish, so yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear. But no, I think you're not going to get much inspiration from a box of water that's only been set up, a couple of months or whatever. It's going to take time.
It does take time. Yeah. So it's also good to watch people. Well, it's not good, but it's kind of informative as well to watch people when they go through this. He's like Jay, just come back from holiday. His return pumps, his tank's going to look naff for 6 months or whatever. But he's not going to go, right, I'll break it down and start again, is he? He's going to just,
I don't know.
Hopefully it won't. But
if it wasn't planning on that.
Yeah. But that's also inspirational, just to see how people deal with the difficulties, because every one of us has to deal with difficulties at some point, in the hobby, don't they?
So, waking up to white sticks, it's like literally like I said the other day when I got those from Christian on Friday. First thing I did yesterday morning was come downstairs and look in the tank and just crossing fingers and toes that they're not white. But such is life. Right, I'm going to end that poll because we need to wrap it up for the final round for the best of the best. So it's been a win for Steve for Moggs Aquarium, 56%. So Moggs Aquarium goes to the final round.
Well, Moggsy.
Right, okay. Go on, mate.
Have you seen Bill Disley as well? He's another UK reefer.
No, what's he on? Insta?
No, he's Facebook mainly, and he's usually on like the Facebook pages. This is a really well grown in.
Okay.
Oh, right, okay.
I believe that's quite an old system as well. I'm going to go on a whim and say it's at least 10 years old.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't do a lot of Facebook, if I'm honest.
There's a few people taking the mickey here, Rob. Rob likes big tacks and he cannot lie. I think they're on about that. I have the same tune. I have the same tune in my head, Ron. Critical saying, I appreciate the more attainable inspirational tanks. Polar Reef is impressive, but I mean, multi-million dollars to spend on a setup kind of takes it away from me. Yeah, we'd all do it though, wouldn't we? I would.
Oh yeah, given the opportunity.
Definitely. Couldn't agree more. When I was watching fish on a holiday, even the small fish swim such distances in the wild.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're no better than me, Rob. Would you say was it about like sort of 10K a day they're on average swimming? Something like that?
What, for the fish?
Yeah.
Gotta be. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the fish as well. But yeah, I mean, they just swim constantly. I mean, the weird thing is, because I've done it before, if you sit still on a reef and you just watch a fish and you go, right, my tank's 6 foot, and you measure it visually in your head and you just go, 3 seconds, he's done that.
Yeah.
It just, and obviously just carries on. Whereas in your tank, he's got to turn around and come back again. Yeah. So it is something I'm very conscious of.
That's why I quite like the big. We spoke about it on another one of the other episodes where we said about the bigger footprint tanks over, let's say, like a long narrow tank.
Yeah.
You know, instead of a 10-foot long narrow tank, I'd rather have like a 4-foot square tank because it gives you a bigger footprint for the fish to swim around in. Yes, they're not going to get that big long.
Yeah, it depends on the fish as well. But
yeah,
I mean, some of the tangs, you know, the Achilles and that, they like to do sprints and soul holes. So you're better off with a longer tank, I think, for those sort of fish. But if you want like shoals of antheas and, you know, wrasse would be a classic because they want to be in the rock work, just picking all day. They don't need to have that sprinting distance. So, but yeah, square tanks are nice actually.
Just a big footprint, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I definitely. I'm just getting up to the final post, the final poll, should I say? Right, let's just have a bit of a recap first. Just 1 second, because I'm going to have to think of this in such a way where I can delete the ones that haven't made the final cut, and then it's just a case of reminding everybody of who has. Let's have a look. We are almost there. A lot of nice tanks, though. A lot of nice tanks.
I mean, there is. And we've missed a lot as well.
There'll be thousands we've missed out, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Right, then. Share screen. Let's have a look. So, everybody's, in terms of the votes, final 4 are, we've got the Swiss Reefer. Just to remind everybody at home who's watching, if you give us a vote, please, because we're going to wrap up in the next 10 minutes. So we've got Swiss Reefer going head-to-head with Mr. Saxby, who's going head-to-head with Polo's Reef, and our UK-born bred Moses Aquarium. So I'm going to throw the vote in now. There you go. Please give us a vote, and we'll see who everybody feels is the most inspirational out of the 4 of them. I had this poll, Lark, ready for a cup of tea.
I was going to say, got it now.
I
was going to say,
I am all pulled out. I mean, some of the expense of some of the tanks as well. I mean, I know mine's not cheap, Rob. I mean, yours obviously cost more than mine, but some of the expense must be ridiculous. You know, some of the equipment, the corals, got to be ridiculous. I mean, I've seen a couple of posts as well where people have lost, you know, all their SPS. You were on about it the other week, Josh, about the calquatter, the pH dropping, and you know, stuff started melting in the tank, didn't it? Or you know, pollutants. Do you remember? I can't remember the tank.
Yeah, I think it was on Orthodox Reef. It might have been him.
An Orthodox, was it him?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But the money that you not to end on a sour note, but the money that you must just lose in one go must be, gut wrenching. So anyway,
strange hobby.
We're on 13 votes and there's 25 people. We got another 12
26 people. 26 people watching. So please give us a vote for the next 5 minutes. I'm going to call it off at 10. So right then.
And now, to be honest.
Yeah.
So we didn't get AAC's tank on this list then.
No.
And
No.
we didn't get Tony's tank at Coral Passion. I don't know if anyone in the chat knows Coral Passion in Essex, but he's got a really nice display. He's got some beautiful fish in that tank.
He's got any corals in it?
He's got something in there. I've maybe got some colours. But it's a 10-foot peninsula tank. It's a lovely tank. Yeah.
Ron's saying, don't you mean SFH, Rob?
Yeah. See, I thought he meant super fucking. Oh, I can't swear, can I?
Well, he already has now. So.
You already have, mate. I've already said the channel's not for children, so we're all right, mate. Not for kids.
You swore earlier on when you described a couple of tanks, but
did I? Yeah. I'm not great, to be honest, at not swearing. It takes me longer to edit my swearing out of my videos than anything else, to be honest. I don't know why I just don't bother. I should just swear at them, really. It'd be a lot easier.
People might like it.
Yeah.
Mick saying Mo's Reef 8x8 by 660. Don't know that one.
Yeah, I know. He's on Ultimate Reef, isn't he?
Is it?
Yeah, that's a nice setup. Yeah.
There's loads. Yeah, there are so many tanks out there.
Sorry, Gary, yours didn't make the cut. Sorry, mate. We will do something like.
If it was grass and lawns, you'd make the cut, I reckon.
No pun intended. Oh dear. Mogsy for the win. Go on, Steve. Mogsy's for me as it's achievable. I think some of those are achievable.
It does go back to what we were saying, though. If people are voting for it as achievable, then that's exactly what we were saying before. People pick certain tanks as inspiration because they look at it and think, that's something I can maybe do and that's something I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 11 people haven't voted yet.
Brown was saying, tough final, going to have to go for something achievable on a normal person's budget.
Something that you can never have.
Yeah, well, that's why it's inspirational, I suppose, isn't it? Because you're striving for that. You're striving for that.
It's like next level. If I flick through a car magazine and I look at the cars I want, I'm not going to go, "Oh, I'd like a Volkswagen Golf," am I? When they've got a Bugatti sitting there or something. You want stuff that you're never really going to have.
I know, but you wouldn't do that. You just go, "Ding, Jeeves."
I wish.
Oh dear. Well, while we're waiting for those polls to come in, is anything that's
Ron's going to be really happy because he made me swear on the live stream. He's going to be absolutely cracking up.
Why aren't you wearing his t-shirt?
I'm doing a live stream with him this afternoon.
Oh, are you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No,
great. Good. Yeah. You got your t-shirt ready?
I will wear my t-shirt. Yeah.
You will wear your t-shirt. Good. Yeah. Bit of corporate branding. I like it. But no, on a serious note, what's the plans with the tanks? Anything happening for you two over the next couple of weeks, month? Anything you're planning on changing, doing, adding, removing even?
I'm sort of away quite a lot, in and out of work. I'm supposed to be on 20 days of annual leave, but I'm in and out covering other people's shifts who have swapped with me or whatever, away to the lakes, just different things over the next sort of couple of weeks. So I'm going to be trying to set the tank up just to be able to take over. I mean, I've pretty much got the traces and macro elements dialed in now to the point where I can leave that alone and be confident that they'll stay stable for that period of time. It's just the feeding side of things. So I need to be able to carbon dose while I'm away on a daily basis for the zeolites. And I'm hoping, obviously, because there's not many fish, there's one fish left now. We obviously be able to feed the corals as well. So I'm going to go down the easy reef. I think you had it before, didn't you, Tom? We mentioned it last week, maybe the easy reefs route, and go with the easy booster and the SPS Evo. Put them on the two aquavitral doses I've got.
Tell you something before you say something I've noticed with this is I've started dosing it just as the lights come on to the tank, obviously, not to myself. And it could be where I'm going wrong. And when I feed the fish with the lights going about 9, 9:30, I've then feed as well, and I've noticed quite a lot bigger polyp extension as a result. So the point I'm trying to make is it stimulates the PE, and then because I feed the tank straight after while they're already sort of feeding on that, it gives them a chance to sort of absorb even more. So yeah,
do you do it on big dose, or do you do it across the day?
No, so I do. So literally, again, bit of lazy reefing. I get the pouch, press the tap literally above one of the return pumps, so a couple of drops straight in it, and it goes straight into the tank while the light's still off. I do that normally probably about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I leave it about an hour. The lights come on at 9. The fish are normally knocking on the glass at about 8:15, saying, "Where's his breakfast?" So then I feed them that food. And what I've noticed is just seem to get a lot more, the polyp extension that I'd normally get when the lights are off, it seems to continue through the first couple of hours of the photo period, because I've sort of already.
So you're just doing one big dose a day?
Yeah, one big squirt.
Yeah.
Automate that on the Apex, Tom. Be easy.
Get on. I need to. So I put a fan in the above in the helmet yesterday, and I've got to figure out how to. I need to plug that into the Apex so I can tell it to come on and off when the temperature goes over a certain amount. Which you're going to tell me is so easy, but that's one of the jobs for today. If I get a chance,
I think that's some of the hardest coding I've ever seen to do that.
Fantastic. Josh, you don't run an Apex, do you?
No, I'm GHL.
All right. Why not Apex? I
was afforded the opportunity to run DHL.
Oh, sorry, I'll not put you on the spot. Sorry, mate.
No, it's I've had the opportunity to run both, and I like the GHL. It looks nice. It fits in with like the aesthetic of the tank.
I mean, I get the feeling you've got to say that.
No, see, it's nice and clean and white in here, isn't it? Like white walls, white hood on the tank. And all the light was white, the Profilux is white, the controllers are white. I like the nice clean look, so that's where I went on the route with that. And I'm used to using it now. Once you get the hang of how the systems work, it's fairly plain sailing. It's sort of similar, I think, for anyone who's an Apex user. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward to do.
Time, anyway. I can copy and paste you the code, Tom. I'll give it to him WhatsApp for the fan.
I'm already getting ridiculed already. What we got here? Liam's putting if temperature is 35, then on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you run it warm.
It's very easy. I guess I'll be getting a phone call shortly. Probably, mate.
Yeah.
In a bit. Anyway, I've got some work to do. Got to carry on tidying up. Yes. Look forward to seeing everybody, providing the weather's good. I'm going to literally going to make a decision on Wednesday. I've not ordered any of the meat from the butchers yet, or any of the pop and crisp and beer. I'm waiting until Wednesday for that one, because the weather keeps going up, just literally fluctuating. And I don't want 20 reefers, like I say, no offence, sat in my living room, because it will be a little bit tight. Reefrondo's saying,
I think.
Robbie's so old now, he forgets it's not a live stream. We record and I publish later. Give me a shout if you'd like to join our Discord and take part.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he does. That's because he's got 20 people just swearing.
Word on the street is Rob's Polo Reef's financial investor. Right, I'm going to finish the poll now. Moggsy's won.
Yeah, I thought he would. He's got a home crowd.
Oh, got a home crowd.
Yeah.
Well done, Steve. Well done, mate. Nice to hear from you again soon. Hope you're well. So yeah, well done to Moggsy's Aquarium. Let's have a quick look through. And I think you're right. I think it's like people have been saying it's achievable. It's what people can get hold of in terms of livestock these days from LFSs and probably other hobbyists. Nothing in there that I think that's for the faint-hearted. Most things in there, I think most people should have a go at growing and not be fazed by. What would you two say?
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
I think that's the encouragement you want, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Gives you that encouragement.
I think a lot of people get told, especially obviously a lot of the tanks we've had on today have been sort of quite heavily SPS dominated, and because everything just gets bracketed under the term SPS, people just think, oh, it's really hard, it's not achievable. But there's so many SPS out there Like you've got the Seriatopora in there, Stylos, Digis.
No comment. It's almost boring.
Yeah, almost. But then when you grow them massive, it's it looked amazing. And obviously Steve's done that really well. He's grown up
your favourite Australian tank on there, Tom.
You are, sorry?
No, I don't know. You didn't put my favourite Australian tank from Parker's Reef on there. The guy's got just a fish collection to die for.
Is he on YouTube? We've got 5 minutes. Let's have a quick look. What's he on YouTube?
I can't remember his name now.
Well, that really helps. Come on.
Well, I sent you the link.
You sent me the link, right? Okay.
Yeah,
I will. Let's talk about it now. For a second. What did you put me?
Thomas Tang and Angel Heaven. It's called.
Right. Okay.
Is it from a while ago? Or is it recent?
No, it's from a while ago. Probably a year, 18 months, something like that.
Oh, I've got it. I've got it.
On Sam Parker's channel.
Right. Let's have a look.
This is just one of those tanks that I look at and go, the guy's done something different from like 99% of reefers. I don't know whether it's still running like that.
Let me share this now before we go off air.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. So the fish collection is just, because that's not a massive tank. I mean, it's big, but it's not, I don't know, is it maybe 8 foot? So the first
it's
thing
not massive, it's 8 foot.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of, it's not a polo reef, and the fact he's got 2 Achilles tangs in an 8 foot tank, old tang, it's just the angels he's got in there. I mean, you can tell it's not grown out stick wise, but it was the fish that I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the smallest tank I've ever seen a pair of Achilles in, powder brown, powder blue. It's just, for me, it's just very impressive.
Two rooms as well, room divider. Nice.
Room divider,
yeah.
Fully QT'd everything. Could he killed all his first lot? So he learned that lesson. But yeah, I just, you don't see a lot of tanks like that. I just thought it was quite impressive.
It's a nice tank.
Yeah, I'd like him to go back, because it's one of those things when you go, because a lot of those fish are not particularly large. They're not fully.
Yeah, so once they get full size, how are they gonna? Is it going to be a case of keep the fish for X amount of time once it gets to a certain size? Understand that it's too big now; it needs to be moved on and replaced.
Yeah, it does make you wonder what the fish stocking's like now. But we have to get Sam. Lee's a friend of Sam, and he needs to get Sam to go back.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I mean, he's got a bandit angel there, hasn't he? I mean, yeah.
Right,
then. So if you're a fish guy, that's a nice tank.
It is. Few more people have just jumped in. Rich, looks mega that. Hope you had a good holiday, mate. I'll see you soon. I was tank sitting for Richard while he was on holiday in studying up in Tenerife. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's the only guy, you're going to wince when I say this, who's got a really nice tank, and he don't run an ATO. He just guesses. It's just mad.
Wow.
I went with me toys the other day to test his solidity, and it was 0.26. It was right on the money. So yeah, fair play.
We should just fill it to a line. Just top it to a line. Yeah.
To a line, yeah.
Yeah, it works, isn't it? Yeah.
It's got my old Reefer, my old 625 double XL, and he's looking after it. It's doing really well. So yeah. Right then. Thank you ever so much for joining us this Sunday morning / afternoon. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We will be on next Sunday, or will the 3 of us be on? Josh? Yeah?
Should
Rob?
be, yeah.
I think
should be. Good stuff. We will unfortunately be joined one of your fellow Southerners, Rob, because Mr. Drippy Reef Geek will be sat at the side of me next Sunday morning, because he will have spent 3 evenings renting my spare room out, or our spare room out. So he has
correct there.
Well, Drippy doesn't drink, so he might be chairing it. I might be somewhat a little bit intoxicated still. We shall see. That's if I actually go to sleep at all. But yes. So looking forward to it. But yeah, not looking forward to clearing up the mess. But hopefully everybody behaves themselves. But thank you ever so much for you two for joining me again. Cracking stream, as always. Thanks for your input. Thanks everybody for their involvement as well in the polls. Been great. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Have a good week, and we shall see you all next Sunday. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. See you later. Bye-bye.